Non-stop rock talk with Tyson Bryden. Welcome to Non-stop rock talk. This is your host Tyson Bryden, coming to you from lockdown in the beautiful but cold and snowy city of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Today, I'm very happy to be joined by Tod Howarth, formerly of Frehley's Comet. Tod also plays as a solo artist, as well as playing in 4x and Return of the Comet. Tod, so great to have you on the show today. How are you?
Tyson, it's great to be here. Thank you. I'm doing pretty good. As usual, I'm running the candle at both ends and just wearing myself out, but I'm doing good. Thanks.
Awesome. I mean, right off the bat, I have to ask you what you're up to musically these days. I seem to think that you stay pretty busy.
Yeah, musically, once in a great while I'll take a break, but musically lately, actually I've been trying to do this for like the last 4 or 5 years. I wanted to do another solo CD, and with the Return of the Comet and then 4x kind of got busy. I couldn't really concentrate on it, but after we've settled back, ramped back on doing those bands, those shows, I have put all my efforts into recording not one, not two, but 3 solo CDs right now, and my autobiography, which I'm writing. So I'm recording a heavy rock CD, more of an adult contemporary, easy, I guess, lack of better terms, easy listening CD, and then I'm going to do like a bonus CD of acoustical versions of the Comet songs that I sang or wrote. And so that's keeping me so busy, it's almost mind-numbing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a lot, man.
It is a lot of work. I mean, I'm writing everything, I'm playing everything. It's just, this will probably be the last time I do it because it's just so time-consuming. I'm hoping I'll be under 65 by the time I get it done, and I'm 64 this year, so.
You ever sleep?
Yeah, people ask me that. Yes, I do. And when I do, it's usually 11 to 5:30 maybe, if that. But yeah.
Cool. Now, the last time we spoke, it was just before Return of the Comet. You guys did. It was just before you did the first show. How did those shows go?
Oh, that was actually the shows went well. The picture was. I hate to start off with this, but I had somehow managed to get the flu. Oh. Not only did I have the flu, but I had influenza A and B at the same time. So the first 4 shows for that, I was only singing like 60% because I couldn't get the wind because I had chest infection and everything like that, and it was horrible for me. But then the balance of the shows after that were kick ass. We had a lot of fun doing it. It was a strange dynamic. I mean, I flew out to hang with Richie because I never really hung out with him, and so I called him up and said, "Hey, Richie, let me come out flat and hang out with you and see what's going on. We can get together." And he said, "That's a great idea. I want to come out." So I did, and we had a blast. We found we had a lot of things in common. Of course, our styles are completely different from playing and songwriting and singing, of course, but we had a blast getting together, and so we were really looking forward to doing it. There were some stage dynamics that were kind of odd and strange to, I think, both of us, maybe me more than him, of how we would present ourselves, but it was kind of we were in a mixer, and then finally it started to go, okay, this is what happens, and just as we got it pretty much ironed out, we had to kind of shelve it. Yeah, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
Yeah, we were going to go to Europe this last year to do some shows, but because of the COVID garbage, that got sidelined along with everybody else in the music field. So we weren't alone.
How was the fan reaction? They must have loved it.
It was good. I mean, there's fans of Richie's, there's fans of mine. And I think that, both Richie and I, we acquired new fans on each end, which is fun because for a long time there was a supposed rivalry and hatred between Richie and me, which never was the case, ever. I only met him a few times, and every time we did meet, he was very cordial, great guy. And matter of fact, I met him, first time I met him, he had Joanne with him. And, she was a sweetheart, a doll, the late Joanne. But the fans reacted pretty well. They had a blast hearing Richie's part of the Comet because he was in the original Frehley's Comet.
Yeah.
I joined to do the albums, and then he went back with them after I left. And so, they get the broad spectrum of Richie and me, and you'll see us. Hey, they actually get along and are having fun with it. We split the vocals and break out, and we did that, and we just had a blast with it. And we wanted the fans, to have the same amount of fun.
That's cool. I was going to ask about group breakout because a lot of people may not realize that there's a video on YouTube of Richie before you were in Frehley's Comet singing that song. Breakout, right? I've seen
one of the videos. I'm not sure if that was done before or after me. I don't remember the timestamp, but yeah, that was a song that Richie had come up with, co-wrote it, and off of sacrilege here. Of course, Ace wrote some lyrics in there too. Yeah. But also,
Eric Carr was part of that too, was he not?
Carr, yeah. Yeah. He wrote, came up with the beat, and so they put it all together. And when they, when Ace and John showed me the song, said, "Hey, you should sing this too." And I went, "Oh, that's kind of a fun tune. I'll sing that. I'll do that." So I had a blast doing it.
That's cool. Now, last week, Richie came out and stated that there may be a live album coming out of one of the shows.
There is some talk about. Yeah, we recorded some tracks, and we're picking out the ones we like the best, and we're seeing if it's feasible, if it's doable, and most likely there's a chance that we may put out hopefully maybe like an EP type, maybe 4 to 6 songs. I'm not sure yet. We have to kind of weigh the bounces and see how it sounds and what we can do to make it presentable for the public.
That's awesome. I can't wait for that. No, I mean, for me, I'm always interested in Frehley's Comet.
Cool.
Because me being a fan goes back to, I think, when the first album came out, right? So, possibly, I kind of like to go through the tracks a little bit,
sure.
and just talk about the album, because I think people, that's one of those albums that's kind of like, it's got its own legacy. It's like kind of like Ace's first Kiss solo album as well. I mean,
right.
There's always something behind it, and people always seem to love that album and talk about it. So,
yeah, of course.
And I mean, in terms of Ace coming back, I think it was a great album for him to make his comeback, right?
Yeah, people were really looking forward to it. I remember back in the day before I even moved to LA to pursue my music career. That was in '79. I remember all my musician buddies who, some of them liked Kiss, and I was into Van Halen and other stuff.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the talents in the band of Kiss, and they always mentioned, and not in a mean, spiteful way, but they were saying that the best player in the whole band is Ace Frehley. His guitar playing, this and that. So I went, oh, okay. Well, when I hear this, when I listen to these records, I'll keep an ear out for that. Yeah. And I'm not taking away from anything from any of the other guys, but Ace stood out for his Guitar Hero stuff, and still does to this day. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because like Peter Criss in his book mentioned that he thought Ace was a horrible singer. Like, he more or less came out and said, well, I never thought Ace was a great singer. But for me, as a fan of Ace, I was like, yeah, maybe he's not, but stylistically, he's the coolest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that delivery, the way he, it's him. It's his personality that comes out in his singing. And a lot of the stuff when the Kiss albums, when he started singing, some of his tracks actually may have saved those albums a little bit.
Now, I'm not surprised at all. He was the first to admit to me when I first met him that he's not a good singer. He's got that stylized voice. But he wanted another strong singer in the band, which was me. The first time I heard him sing, I was like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty much true. He's not a real singer, but doesn't matter because his character came through exactly what you said. His character came through, so people could put the voice and the antics together, and that was, they adored it, as they should. That's how it works. There's a lot of stylistic singers that are not great singers, and there's singers that are phenomenal, but they're low profile. They're not much fun to watch, but to listen to they are. So it's weird how everybody has a subjective view of what's a good singer.
So true. Now I want to ask about the back photo of the Ace Frehley album. Ace Frehley, I mean, he looked really healthy and ready to bring it. The band looked great. You guys are all dressed in black. Now, there's a pin on everybody's jacket, and it's funny because on everybody's lapel. Mm-hmm. It's funny because three guys have it on one side, and then John Regan is on the opposite side, which is kind of funny. But what did that? Was there anything on? Did it say anything on it, or was it just like an Ace Frehley type of logo type of thing?
It was a spur of the moment Ace Frehley idea. He said, "Hey, look, let's take these buttons and put some tape on them, and put this little lightning bolt on it, and everybody wear them. They'll go over big, and we can sell them." And we're like, okay, and here's the master of marketing. So we made them right there at the photo shoot, and slapped them on.
Really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what happened to mine. It may be somewhere. It may have been lost somewhere in the shuffle of after I left the Comet. But yeah, that's how that came about. There's a lot of funny things in that back cover that's hilarious. People don't know about.
Well, that background wasn't real. Like that, was there that actual space background in the cover? Was that actually real, or was that kind of early Photoshop?
I have mine here. Hold it up. Let me see it.
Yeah, it's got how it's like.
Oh yeah, well of course that's a backdrop. They superimposed us on the backdrop. I believe. I'm not sure if we had a backdrop or not. And John Regan will probably have a better memory about that. But the funny thing is, I'm not very tall. I'm only about 5'7".
Right.
See, so I had to wear these tall ass boots, and then what was it? I think
looking at those boots.
Yeah, and John Regan's boots. I think it was John or I can't. I'd have to get the album, which my albums are in the other room, but it was either John's or Anton's boots were brown. So couldn't have brown, so we took some black duct tape and taped them over. So look at whoever's boots. I think it's Anton's. If they look kind of like leathery looking,
they look very leathery. Yeah, you're right.
Then they're tape. That's tape. That's duct tape.
That is hilarious. Now, was the smoke actually there? Smoke on the bottom.
No, not there. Another thing is just as a goof, Ace and Anton were holding hands, goofing off.
Oh yeah, they are.
And they have the airbrush Anton's hands out of it.
You're right. Yeah. It looks like they're holding hands, but Anton's hand is not there. That is hilarious.
And John has also got his finger pointing towards Ace's junk.
Yep, he does. I never noticed that, man.
That's the funny shit about that.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
You guys did it. How did you not laugh?
Well, we laughed through a lot of it, we're all goof. But sometimes you catch those fun moments, and that was, I think, for some reason, it came out to be the best photo we took. So we used that and fixed up all the stuff. But you improvise. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Was there a concept in terms of the image of the band? It doesn't seem. You guys are wearing black, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I was probably the worst dresser in that whole band because I had a different idea of what to wear, and I wore some of the wrong stuff. It was horrible. And then I got my hair cut in New York by somebody who was evidently on speed or something. They gave me the mullet, and I was like, just irritated. But yeah, that's all about me. But the look was, just trying to look rock. There wasn't any uniform. I think Ace had enough of uniforms.
Yeah.
John was going to be Johnny Cash regardless. He always has the black jacket, the smooth look, and Anton doesn't really have a look, other than he's just the cool South African that could kick ass on drums. Yeah. And Ace was the focal point, and I was like the short guy that ran around with blonde hair.
Yeah, I remember that one ad Ace did. I think it was just before when he was promoting those Washburn guitars.
Yeah.
Remember that thing? And I just read an article about how he didn't really like it. He didn't like that guitar, but he
didn't like it at all.
Yeah. Did you ever get to try it?
I played a little bit, and I didn't care for it either.
Really?
I'm sorry. I grew up on. I mean, what I really taught on was the 1957 Les Paul Junior TV model, nice big fat neck, and then my Les Pauls. And then I stumbled upon Ace gave me one of his Steinbergers, black Steinberger to play, and went, well, the neck's kind of skinny, but I love the sound on this thing. Damn, I just stuck with them.
And not more from there, because how many do you have now?
I have 18 now.
I saw that wall thing you did.
Oh yeah, cool.
That looks awesome, man. That looks, I saw it and I said, that looks so cool.
So then to build.
It was what? Sorry?
It took me hours to build that wall. I had to make it steady because I'm hanging all my priceless gems up there.
Yeah.
That one 12-string Koa wood Steinberger.
Right.
There's only one made in the world, and that's it. It's worth about at least $10,000.
Wow.
So I'm just like, I was sweating bullets, thinking, if this shit falls, my investments are gone.
So how did you mount them? Because they don't have a headstock.
No, it's what I went. The whole wall is slightly at an angle, of course, and I had them weighted down. I did this whole down on our property, our business real estate, and then I went and found these perfect rubber coated screw hooks. They were like, it was like a Y that would hold either brooms or something like that, but they're plastic coated, and they just fit just under the trams and just behind the neck, of which I did a black zip tie, where the rubber band is that holds the strings at the top. You couldn't even see it, so it's secured at the top, and they wouldn't move. They didn't go anywhere. So I did one by one, and I just randomly, eyeball engineering. I just randomly set them up there. I got a little crooked towards the end, but I got them all in there, and had the 5 custom ones on top that Headless USA and Jeff Babbitt's redid for me as to my color selection.
Oh, they look amazing.
Thank
you. They look so great. Is the bass very heavy? Are the basses very heavy?
No, not really. I play. I got one of Tom Peterson's 12-string Waterstone basses. That thing's got a heavy front end on it. That thing's kind of heavy. But I'm a gearhead, so I'm used to lifting heavy crap all the time, and it really doesn't bother me. What does get heavy is going to the airport with 2 Steinbergers on my back in a custom black case, and after a while, I was like, damn, this thing's getting heavy,
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets heavy. But no, they're not heavy. The bass, I've got two 5-string basses that are really rare, and then one fretless bass, and they all weigh about the same,
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, obviously, they weigh a little bit more than the guitars would, because there's more to them. But
yes, yeah,
a little bit more. But I've never felt one. I've never played one. So I mean, that's kind of why I'm asking, bass or guitar. So I've never actually seen one in person. So
oh wow, yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, they're quite a lot of people don't care for them, but. I principally got them because when my kids were young, they used to run around my home studio at home and knock over my Les Pauls and my Flying V.
Oh yeah.
Or my Explorer, like damn it, So when I got the red Steinberger, it was a bowling ball. You really couldn't hurt it. When it dropped, it just you retune it if it went out of tune, and no neck to snap. It's kind of a graphite bowling ball neck, so it's sturdy.
It's funny, after all these years that Gibson was never able to be able to fix that, but my understanding is that if they fixed it, the Gibson would never be what the Gibson is, right?
The Gibson, Gibson bought Steinberger, I think I think somewhere in the 90s, I believe. And I know the history of it, yeah, because Steinberger was by Ned Steinberger. He started that. And then he eventually sold it to Gibson, and then they kind of downscaled, and yeah, as usual, sometimes they drop the ball because it's no longer the pet project of the inventor. They either make it far better than it was, or they just mass produce. And I haven't even played the new Steinbergers. I just play the old ones because
it's cool. I think that's cool.
It's an investment. Yeah, thanks.
I think that's cooler. I mean, the only other guy I remember using them was Vito Bratta from White Lion. He used those too, I think, on the second album after he switched from ESP to those. So they're very cool.
Well, he saw like mine.
Yeah.
They were good. I mean, I haven't spoken to Vito in years, but we were real good friends touring together because White Lion and Frehley's Comet opened up, the play together in the first part of our touring, and I got to know the whole band. Good guys.
Yeah, great band.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I had Mike Tramp on my show early last year, and we talked a lot of White Lion, and that was really cool.
He's a special character.
Yeah,
he's there's White Lion and Mike Tramp. I mean, he was White Lion, but because every time we'd have a night off, the guys White Lion called me, "Hey, let's go out and do something." Okay, so I'd go. Where's Mike? He's not coming with us.
Yeah, he doesn't drink or anything.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, just a separate character. That's all.
Yeah, he was cool. Now, getting back to the album.
Yeah.
So Eddie Kramer co-produced with Ace on the album. I mean, of course, his history with Kiss and Ace goes back to, recording, I believe, the first one of their demos, right?
Right.
So working with Eddie, did he give a lot of input, or was he just kind of laid back?
When I first got there and was introduced to Eddie, I knew nothing of his background, to be honest. I mean, I thought, okay, well, I knew he had some experience with the Hendrix and I think Zeppelin and Kiss as well, but I didn't know to what extent. It's not. It's not a rude thing. It's just an ignorance thing. I just don't care, But Eddie was very good at what he did. And he brought out some good stuff, and all of us, including me, vocally. And I think that he put a good stamp on that first record that I think was indelible. He was a good guy. Good guy.
That's cool. Now, in terms of Ace, kind of leading up to the release, did he was he nervous? Did he feel the pressure, or was he just kind of like, and let's remember, it's the first album without makeup for him too, right?
Yeah, that wasn't so much of the issue, is that he just, he was very, very focused. He was energized. He was thrilled about it. He had a good band behind him. He had a good record. The label, Megaforce through Atlantic, seemed to be behind him in the push, and I think that he felt, and everybody felt, that there was a good chance that this was going to go somewhere. And so he was there all the way, healthy, focused, driven, and really pushed it through. And the first record and even to the live record was an extremely good effort. And, I think by the time the second sighting came, he was sick a lot. He had his bronchitis was kicking his butt all through that record, as a matter of fact. And I'm not sure what happened at that point. Maybe I can't speak for him, but maybe he thought his expectations may have been a little bit higher than what he thought it would be. But the musical world was changing anyhow. We didn't see grunge, sneaking up on us to kick everybody's ass. So, but I think that perhaps there's a lot of dynamics and variables that took place and why Second Sighting didn't do as well sales-wise the first one. And a lot of people would go, they might blame me as well, but there's a story behind that too.
I don't think they should blame you, though. I mean, it is what it is, man. Those were good songs. Good songs are good songs. I mean, I remember when Second Sighting came out and thinking it's a fantastic album.
Thank you. It was songs were needed. I had songs. Ace wasn't there. And I was just trying to make it happen. I wanted to write more songs that Ace and I would sing together, and I wanted to write more songs for Ace to play. Which I planned to do after Second Sighting. I said, look, we got to get some cohesive, fat, heavy styles here, because I see something happening for us in that vein, because I really want to go heavier. But
that would have been cool.
Yeah, it is what it was.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now the album. Let's begin with Rock Soldiers. That was an epic track. Yeah, I mean it was an anthem. Do you recall hearing that song for the first time and what you thought of it?
Yeah, that song, I heard it, and I was, it was a storyline on Ace, of course.
Yeah.
And based on what the fans would want to hear and what they would emulate, what they would see in that song, I thought it was a perfect matchup for him. I'm not a big anthem writer. I'm not a big anthem enthusiast because I've never been that type of songwriter, but that doesn't take away the validity of the song and its effectiveness and its popularity, and it did real well. I mean, after we got it done and I was listening to it going, okay, there's definitely something behind here that's going to take us somewhere, and it did.
Yeah, I mean, I always loved that snare at the beat, it was just the way it started. And then, I mean, and stylistically, there's Ace's vocal again, like Ace's back and he told you so, it was just so Ace, and it was just I remember the first time I heard it and thinking, holy cow, this is so good, right?
Yeah, that is really the part of his character and his undeniable voice that makes the impact. That's what makes it good, because people already like his character, as this, slightly off balance lead player, and here's his cavalier singing that matches that slightly off balance lead player, and it really works, and so people they admire that type of strong character coming through because he's being true to himself. So yeah, it worked out real well. As a matter of fact, that first record, I ended up coaching Ace through a lot of the vocals.
Oh, you did? Cool. Okay.
Helping him with some stuff, because he was open to how would you do it, how you hear the phrase, and I'd say, well, phrase it this way better. But some part of the record was already recorded before I got there as well. I don't recall how much of Rock Soldiers was. I think probably I remember singing the backups on it and the harmonies, so maybe that one wasn't recorded, but where I could help, I would help him, shape some vocals. Right. And he by the end of the record, he did, and the second record, he did real well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, and the tracks. I mean, even the tracks on that he sang on Second Sighting. I liked everything that was on that album. Is more or less what I mean. Like even his vocal stuff, like Insane, was a great track, right?
Yeah, it was. It was a good track.
A really good song. And what was Dancing with Danger?
Yeah,
that was a good one. Now,
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Never did it live.
That's too bad. That was a cool tune. That's a very cool tune.
Yeah.
Now, Into the Night. This was written by Russ Ballard, who wrote New York Groove as well. Did Megaforce kind of say to Ace that maybe you should do another Russ Ballard song because you had success with New York Groove, or did he kind of pick that?
I mean, for it being released as a single,
or just putting it on the album, releasing it as a single, whatever.
I think they felt it had the most probably radio appeal or appeal to the audience, and he was singing it. The problem with me singing some of the songs, I think that the label was like, yeah, but it's not Ace singing. Ace needs to be singing it, even though Todd's a singer, blah, blah, blah. But the point was, and they're right, the thing was, release something that they sing, and it has a good message, a good storyline, good music. And Into the Night was written by a very good songwriter of the era. And it did as it did as well as it did for that time, and I believe that's how it was chosen.
Yeah, and it's funny because I mean, even that it wasn't an Ace song, and his style vocally fit perfectly on it. Came out really well, right?
Yeah, that's when an artist will take a song or an idea and make it their own. And as soon as he starts whipping out his leads, that becomes his song. Or as soon as he starts singing it, that becomes his tune and his jingle, his character. And it's very doable. I mean, some people grapple with trying to achieve that. Other people do it excessively well, but it worked. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, I seem to recall watching the video and seeing you guys walking down this, like, I don't know if it was an alleyway or the street carrying your guitar cases, and I'm like, man, those guys look cool. I was like, because I was, how old? 87. I was like 12 or 13, and I'm thinking, and I'm this guy. I want to play guitar, and I'm like, that is awesome. I just love this video just for that simple fact.
A lot of fun. I was shot in the downtown San Francisco in the Garment District, I believe, in the middle of the night. We started filming about 12, and it was kind of cool, kind of cold because right by the water. I used to live up there when I was playing with 707. But it was a lot of fun, and yeah, we had a lot of cool moments. I never took myself too seriously. I still don't. Well, you're a rock star. No, I'm not. I'm just a rock guy. I'm just a blue collar guy that's got some talent, and I like to share it with everybody I can. But yeah, it was a good time.
That's cool. Now, Something Moved, that was first on the album. That was one of your songs.
I believe so, yeah.
Was that a new composition, or was everything that you probably brought in was some things you'd written over the years, I take it?
Something I had written when I was with Cheap Trick. Of course, they weren't going to do it because it was way too heavy and scary for them. Yeah. Even though they do heavy, scary stuff, it was not their style. So I had done that. It was actually a very dark and longer tune. And I showed it to Eddie Kramer and Ace and John when they said, do you have any songs? Yeah, so I sent them the 4-track of my songs. And that song was one of them on there. And it's about experience with a ghost, which is actually real. It happened to me when I was about 8-9 years old.
Wow.
My step-grandparents' horse ranch. And of course, I did some creative liberties with lyrical embellishments, but it is about based on an encounter with a ghost that I still remember to this day that I saw when I was a kid. I'm writing about my autobiography. Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
It was fucking alarming is what it was.
That is cool. Well, I mean, it probably wasn't cool for you at the time being.
No, I was terrified. But that was after that happened, that little room was called the ghost room because ranch house was real big, and I wouldn't sleep in there again for years. And then by the time I was like 12 or 13, going, yeah, I'm sleeping here to see if this shit comes back. And I'd stay in that room all the time, But then it was horrifying because the place was haunted. It was.
Man.
Yeah.
Jeez. I've never had that happen to me ever, so I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's I of course I believe in spirits, I believe in energy, I believe in ghosts, and some present themselves to others more than they do to other people, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I remember on Live Plus One, Ace kind of said something at the beginning of it. I can't remember at the beginning of that song, but I can't remember what it was now. He said something as you guys went into the song, or maybe it was after. I'll have to throw it on again and listen to it. He mentioned something about spirits or whatever. So.
Oh yeah, he occasionally his rap would change up, but yeah, it depends on how bored we were, whatever. But yeah.
That's cool. Now, We've Got Your Rock was another anthem type. I think it was a good album track that kind of fit the mood of the album, but I don't think it was single worthy. Any thoughts on that song?
No, it was a fun live tune. Again, because I'm not an anthem guy, I just it didn't hit on me as like something. Yeah, I'm a melody guy. Everything's got to have some interesting melody to me that takes you deeply emotionally, either happy or shocking or sad or whatever. So with her, like, it'd be fun to play live. It wasn't my type of song, but with Frehley's Return of the Comet, we played a little bit of it and we did a 4-song medley, and it's more fun now to play it than it was probably back then.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, and it's funny lyrically because Ace didn't usually because he's like that one line, you've got a backstage pass and a nice little ass, girl, I'm going to take you home. That didn't ever seem like a lyric that he usually would sing either, to me.
No, he wouldn't sing that, but he might think that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It's like, because most of his stuff, going back to Kiss, I mean, it was always kind of like, the spaceman persona, and, or when he got electrocuted and Shock Me, or
right. Yeah, well, he didn't probably have a forum for singing or writing about things that he liked. I would say that I would never write anything about a little girl anywhere. Period. Nowadays,
that's for sure.
Fly. I mean, not because I want to, because I never did. It's just, But that's a funny vocal lyric to sing. That's a section of the song we took and stuck in the medley.
I mean, now I think thinking back to 12 or 13, I probably thought it was cool, but now listening to it, I'm like, no.
They're kind of insipid lyrics. Some lyrics that are very good. And some of the stuff that we did, it wasn't like Sting was going to write or anything. So.
That's true. That's a good point. Now, "Love Me Right" was another Ace song. I love his vocal delivery on this track. That was actually a very solid song, very Ace. Did you sing the harmony vocal on that? Yeah, you can. It sounds. You know what? I listen and I go, oh man, I wish Tod was up just a little bit more. On that harmony.
Pull me down. Yeah, of course I'm singing all the high stuff because they would present me with the songs and what do you hear here? And I go, well, this harmony, a fifth or a third or major or whatever, and so I just sing it and it made the sound, but I just had the ability. I've still got a pretty good range, but my range is about 3 octaves. When I'm in tip-top shape, and it just lended itself to, I'm singing this right here, and that was a fun song to play live. It really was, and it kind of had like that swooshing, sweeping. It reminded me of
it's got a great got a cool feel to it. You're right, and I didn't until I listened to the album again the other day. Because I'm like, okay, I want to focus on this album tonight, and I think it was one of those tracks that I missed all those years ago, and now I'm like, that's such a cool song.
Yeah,
it's got a good feel.
And over years, time will change for people. They'll acquire different tastes or likes. I had a lot of people that told me, I never really pay attention to It's Over Now until later on in my life. Like, damn, that was a good song, or whatever. And I said, thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, and the same thing for me. I appreciate some stuff more now than I used to. But it's just tastes. But yeah, it's a cool tune.
Yeah, I mean, I had a buddy who he got second sighting before me, and he'd phone me up and he'd be like, "You got to hear what Tod's singing on this." Because he loved your singing, like he loved your songs. He loved Fallen Angel. Over Now, like he loved those songs. So I mean, hopefully he'll listen to this because he'll know I'm giving him a shout out.
Tell him thank you very much. It's nice to hear when people really enjoy those tunes, and I get that often, and it's heartfelt, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's cool. And he turned me on to it too, right? So
cool.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Even better.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we wouldn't be here today if that hadn't been the case, right?
Right.
So, Calling to You is credited to both yourself, Ace, Jim McClarty, and Kevin Russell. Now, that publishing on there dates back to 1981 on Todd Boy Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some insight on this. Would Ace contributed after the fact? That's a really powerful song.
Yeah. What happened is I was downtown New York in Ace's condo when we were getting ready to write and put some songs into what the project was already started. Once I was in the band, let's listen to your songs. So I'm going through some tunes with him up in his high rise, and I come across. I said, well, here's a song that I did with 707, my first big band out of L.A. that moved to San Francisco, and we had done this song called Megaforce, which was for the movie at that time with Barry Bostwick and the late Carla I forget her last name, she's bald-headed chick, but the movie was really interesting, special, but the track was pretty cool. Now, we had written the track for the movie, and it got into the movie, but they kind of buried it at the end, and we were all, the 707 was really disappointed about it. What the hell? So it kind of took a dive. Well, when Ace saw the title, he was intrigued only by the fact that it was the same name as his record company, because the Force Record Company. So this is the title of my record company. He said, wait, let's listen to it. So I let him listen to it. He said, we should redo this. We should change a couple lyrics, here and there. And I'm thinking, I'd prefer not to do it, because at that time there was some tension that I had with some of the band members leaving 707, and I really didn't want to have any, I wouldn't have to get back on the phone and, hey, we're going to redo this tune. So I said to Ace, I prefer not to. Can we just do something else? No, I really like this, and we should do something with it. So, of course, he's the boss, so we redid the song, and he wrote the lyrics, put in a couple words for the chorus, which is, strike the drum, stand up and shout, it's only rock and roll. It's what we're all about. That's what he added to the tune instead of Megaforce. So, which worked. I mean, it worked fine. I mean, and I sang it, and we did a slightly different arrangement on it. But that's how that song came about, and that's Jim McClarty, the drummer, wrote the original lyrics for the Megaforce, and I wrote the bulk of the music, along with Kevin Russell, the guitar player from 707 at that time. So yeah, that was back in 1981.
Wow, that's cool. Now that acoustic guitar part for the solo is kind of very Fractured Mirror 1 or 2, whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
was that already in there?
Yeah, that's definitely my part, because I was into that type of chording. Then it starts off on a D and goes up and transitions all the way up to the neck, and then then the lead, which was 2 different leads. I did the first lead, and then Ace did the lead. 707, Kevin Russell did all the leads. But yeah, that was it. All the construction is pretty much the same of the two. And the original singer was Kevin Chalfant, who sang with us in 707 toward the last part of that incarnation. He's a tremendous singer, and he almost ended up singing for Journey, but that didn't pan out, and he should have, because he would have fit them perfectly. But so I sang the song for Frehley's Comet, and I've got the range, but Kevin Chalfant at the time, a far better polished lead singer than I was. But the song for Frehley's Comet, it came out fine. It came out good.
Yeah, no, I think you did. You did a great job on it.
Thank you.
What did the guys in 707 say anything? Did they say anything about you doing it? Did they like it?
They said, thank you for the publishing money. Yes.
Yeah, of course, right.
I don't think, when you create your baby and you put it out there, and for some people, you really got to do a far better job or a different interpretation of the song to get any kudos on it. I never particularly heard any positive or negative feedback from either Kevin or Jim on the tune, or Kevin Chalfant, the original singer, on it. I didn't. In the end, they didn't mind. It's just another version. It's a music business. It got out there. It keeps the rumbling about the 707, because there's been talk of trying to get that band back together, 707. But the demand for that kind of stuff right now. It's just not there. I don't believe.
Oh, that's too bad.
Unfortunately, all the people enjoy that type of music have grown up. They have their own families. Some have grandkids now. So the market for it is limited. In a different arena, different time, especially now, it'd be possible to do some stuff and do other stuff. But yeah, it was a great song for the Comet.
Yeah, that's cool. And I have to admit that is probably my favorite guitar solo on that album, because the two styles between you and Ace is so different, and I loved that. Your first section, and then you can tell it's Ace. As soon as he plays, you're like, and I can tell, and you can tell it's you, because the style's so different, right?
Yeah, very.
And I think it blends so nicely.
Thank you. It really is. The contrast, I think, is what helps it to make it, again, an indelible type sound. And it was fun because I'm not an overly lead player. I can play leads, but I never really cared to. I was a songwriter, a melody man. So when it comes time to write a lead like I'm doing now, I've got to come up with something in my head, and sometimes I can't play it. I go, well, how the hell do you get there? Because I have no. Oh, okay. So I have to figure out how to play. Because my chords are all inverted. Because keyboard stuff is so different from guitar stuff, but it did shine, and a lot of people did like it, and. I think it was a nice compliment, and thank you for saying so.
Yeah, because I really do enjoy your guitar playing. Like, to be honest with you, I always have, because I always just thought it was, you brought, Ace was, he's the 70s Kiss guy, he plays like Ace plays, and you brought a little bit more contrast, like you say, that kind of brought that 80s element a little bit as well.
Yeah, it's kind of the California influence, some of the Van Halen stuff, and then also I invert chords way differently than normal chords, because regular chords, they bore me to death. So awesome. This is something, I just read this thing on Eddie Van Halen, one of his books I just read about him, and he did the same thing I've been doing for years. Of course, he was doing it before me, but he would take keyboard chords and come up with them on his guitar. Well, I do the same damn thing, but I never knew he did that, because when you're a piano player, there's certain tones and notes you want to hear, and you can't quite get them out of a guitar, so you come up with your own chords. So it's like this stretch on this hand, that's the keyboard stretch there. That's like, many different, so I can get all these type of weird things, and it's a lot of fun. And Ace would never go, what are you playing there? So I'm playing, this G7th with the raised fifth, and you go, and all like that. Just play the G, bar the G up, So, and that takes nothing away from Ace, because he's, his lead playing is just remarkable for in that style. It's just amazing.
I mean, for me to hear Ace, like just to hear the guitar track by itself would just be because I'm such an Ace fan, right? Just to, I don't know if you've ever heard of the David Lee Roth vocal of Running with the Devil without the music on it.
Oh yeah,
that type of. So I'd rather just listen to Ace, or there's Randy Rhoads ones too, where on Crazy Train, where he's just playing. It's got the triple track on the Crazy Train solo, right? For me, that would just be cool, because, and Eddie Van Halen as well, like, lots of guitar players, I just like to hear that breakdown of just the guitar, to hear what they're doing.
It's very interesting in the transitions and things you hear, and things you didn't know were there, and things you thought were there aren't, the whole pie that goes together, it blends and becomes a tune. It's like, when I play with a Cheap Trick, they're all parts that go together. And then when you play with them, you hear the parts separately. You go, okay, I know what's happening here, But then you put that magic together, and then Robin Zander is one of the best American singers, period, ever. Rock singers ever. But yeah, it's a lot of fun if you could hear some of Ace's stuff, and he very well might do that one day. But he's got a lot of catalog to dig through.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Now Dolls was one that I never really got, to be honest with you. I mean, that's an Ace composition.
A large club there.
Yeah, it's very different, and I often wonder, like, what the hell was he thinking when he wrote that one?
He's got a macabre sense of humor, and it as far as I know, as far as I was told, it's perfectly innocent. He, when he used to tell his dollar bedtime stories, he'd sit in a room and talk around whatever, and here's all these fucking dolls staring at him, and so he came up with this macabre idea, which I understand, because I would do that, but see, in my storyline, my music, the dolls would be different. They'd be coming into life and trying to kill you in your sleep. See, that's how that would happen.
I like that.
I when I first heard the tune, like, what is this? Really? Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
he's the boss. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to me that the label said, okay, yeah, just run with it. It's cool. Just put it on there. It's just a weird track.
Well, actually, it's even weirder if you listen to the little break. I think it's on Dolls. There's a middle section where he plays this like little chimey guitar.
Yeah.
You hear a guy yodeling in the background.
Oh, I gotta listen to that. I have to listen to it again. That is crazy. That's you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because we were listening to the track and that part came up, and I was sitting there and I go, and they started laughing, and they said, "We got to put that in, and we're just gonna bury it down." So they did. So that's
cool.
That's
awesome.
Not one fucking thing to do with the song at all.
No,
but
but funny. You guys must have howled.
Oh, we did. We laughed our asses off, So that's and I forget about that too until people start bringing it up, because everybody skips over the Doll song,
I never skip it though. I always listen to it.
Well, it's kind of like a car wreck. You listen and go, my God, I'm gonna have to listen to this again.
Yeah, there's one of those tracks on his Anomaly album too that is kind of like weird like that, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, why is that on here?
Well, that again is part of the charm of Ace's character, because just when you think he's going this way, we're gonna go that way.
Yeah,
it's just kind of a strange diversion, and it wouldn't be something I would do in that fashion, but it definitely works for Ace.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm gonna. You know what? I was just thinking of something. I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but we'll come back.
I like Tod.
What's that?
I like Todgent.
Todgent. Yes, a Todgent. That was good. I was just thinking about Return of the Comet. Now, you obviously would have done material from Trouble Walking. What was that like?
It was fun. Well, because we took some of Richie's tunes. I'm trying to think of the set list. We did. I don't even know what we did. A little bit of Animal. We did Animal and
Too Young to Die. Too Young to. I can't remember the title of it.
Yeah, Too Young to Die.
Which one I'm referring to though? Richie sings it.
Yeah. That's actually a really cool tune. We had a lot of fun doing that. We had a real good time doing that, and I had no problem doing that. It was fun. And just like Richie had no problem doing my tunes. It's just it's not a conflict. It's like an effort. Like, let's make this happen.
No, I think it's cool. That's why I asked. I was just kind of like just wondering, like, what was, because you weren't there anymore, and this album came out, and they had moved on, and it's just like, oh, I wonder what that would be like. It's like David Lee Roth singing Sammy Hagar songs. I wonder what that would be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's all kinds of different formulas that could have worked. I think Richie's a phenomenal guitar player. I mean, he's just just a consummate showman and phenomenal lead player, and he fits well with Ace, as a lot of people like, as it should, because he was there, and it's kind of not so much as Ace's style, but I
agree with that.
I was more of the songwriter than anything else, so that was kind of the rub there. So, in a perfect world, it would have been good to have Anton, John, Richie, and Ace, and me just singing lead. That would have been fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have been cool. I mean, that would have, and going back to, you had mentioned that that conflict of Ace and yourself both singing. It's funny because you think of like Vinnie Vincent. Well, Vinnie Vincent's not going to sing. He always had a singer. You know what I mean? But Ace couldn't just have a singer.
Yeah, no, because he could contribute, and it made the strength of his character in his solo records and the Comet records even stronger, because he was more viable in the solo stance, because he could sing and he could write songs and he could smoke on guitar.
Yeah, and I mean, if that '78 album hadn't been the best selling of the four, that wouldn't have given him that confidence to be doing that, right? So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it was the confidence and the demand.
Yeah.
So you have that combination, and so of course the demand gives you some confidence, unless you have a complex with, some people do, but usually, musicians or rock stars, they don't have a complex. They can't wait to get out there, ham it up,
Yeah.
Always on stage.
Yeah, that's true. Now, so I got off a little bit, but I mean that was right on my mind. I was thinking about that. Now, "Stranger in a Strange Land," another great album track. Jeez, Ace song. Do you recall much about that one?
Yeah. I had fun picking out the harmonies for that. So I picked out some kind of Tod harmonies for it, and then I also I'm playing the kind of like tremolo in the chorus and play well, 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 well. I remember playing that, and that was kind of fun. And I think that I'm not sure if we played that live, and sometimes I'd sing it. If Ace didn't feel like singing or couldn't,
Really cool.
Yeah, I think I would sing it, or "Love Me Right" was definitely one of the ones I'd sing live.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that was Strange Land was a good song.
It's a very good song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's now getting to Fractured 2. Did Ace do all that guitar? Or
Yeah,
did you
that
play
was
on that?
Ace. I don't know if I put any. I can't remember if I put anything on it or not, because a lot of it, some of the, as I said, the first album, some of it was recorded before I got there.
Right.
I don't remember embellishing anything on it. I guess I should have taken notes. Back then I wasn't thinking about, when I'm 64, I'll be writing my autobiography.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Now, I mean, the funny thing is that, I mean, we spoke of Dolls, and it not being my favorite track. Words Are Not Enough ended up on Live Plus One, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if Dolls didn't end up on there and Words Are Not Enough was on that album, right?
I never realized how fun and good Words Are is. I remember hearing it because that was recorded before I got there. All that keyboard stuff, that's not me. I mean, when I do keyboard stuff, I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't do tinkly stuff. I do more raw orchestration, some heavy, deep sax like T-Rex, I do some fat stuff, Zeppelin-esque type stuff, I would like to think. But that wasn't me at all. But I remember when it came out, and I was like, oh, okay, that's fine, because it's still Ace's tune or Ace tune, and it appeals to his audience. But I never really listened to it a lot until later on in the years, and went, it's a good song, So we brought it up to do it for Return of the Comet. I thought, it'd be fun. So we worked out a couple versions, and then we reworked it a little bit. And almost got it to a point where it was nice and polished, but it never made it there because we didn't play that long in Return of the Comet, But it's a good tune, real good tune.
Yeah, it's a very good tune. It's unfortunate that album that EP was such a weird thing, and they put it out and they put that song on there, and
some of it was rushed, I think. There consistency in some of the musical styles, I think. I don't know. I think that there may have been momentary panic. I'm not really sure who pulled the trigger on that. Because if it had been my project, I would have said, well, maybe this isn't the best thing to put on. It would have been probably a better song for the first record.
Yeah, exactly. I think it would have fit perfectly on the first record, to be honest with you.
And I think it may have been in contention, but. We may have taken it off. Maybe you put one of my songs on. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows, right? Now, was there anything else recorded for the album that didn't actually make it?
No, not that I know of. Not that I remember. People ask me about the old bootleg studio stuff and ghost stuff, and not really.
There's a bunch of it, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing would be with Ace and Anton. Maybe somewhere that and I don't know where that'd be, because, but yeah, nothing with me on it. I really don't know.
That's interesting. It's funny because there's online on YouTube, there's a bunch of earlier stuff, and Ace is doing Back on the Streets, which was a Vinnie Vincent song. I don't know if you've ever heard that, and
that song was actually given. I remember hearing a Kiss version of it, a Kiss demo of it, back in '81 when we were getting ready to do the Megaforce track when I was with 707, and I remember hearing it, and they were our managers were trying to get us to do it.
Wow.
That was free, and I thought, that's a good song. I like that song. It really sounded to me very, again, swing beat East Coast,
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was, that's cool. But that was a really good song. And yeah, I guess we never, for some reason, we didn't do it.
Yeah, it's funny because you listen. I mean, it's on that that first Vinnie Vincent album, and I mean, the guitars are so over the top on it, and like the first singles, "Boys Are Gonna Rock," and it's like this big over the top, and I just wonder if they had released Back on the Streets, if maybe like it's a what if, but I think Back on the Streets is the best song on that album, right? It's bizarre.
It depends on who the executive producers are, who the money people are, who the label is. They tell you what they want to do, and sometimes if you want to insist on putting out a song they don't like, they're going to go, okay, well, we'll just kind of
we'll bury it.
Let it flop, but that's kind of a vindictive perspective, but it has been known to happen. I mean, they put It's Over out now. It's Over now out, and put that much money behind it, and
which sucks.
It just died. I mean, and that killed me. I'm probably jumping ahead here, but that killed me because I had a lot of faith in that song, I had a lot of hope for that song because it had a lot of heart in it.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It's hard to see when I mean, probably for you as an artist, when this is a fantastic song, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, what happened? What? Yeah. Why?
Yeah. I mean, I thought for sure I was gonna be able to buy a house off that, at least a house, or a used Porsche, but no.
Didn't you mention that John felt the same way about that one too?
Yeah, I think he did, because when I'd written that song for Cheap Trick in 1986 to do, and they passed on it. Probably because it was big keyboard heavy, and they were looking a little more guitar stuff. And of course, there's a lot of guitars in it, but that's not the point. Then I played the song on the grand piano for John while we were mixing the first record, and he goes, "Wow!" He says, "We got to do that for the second record." And so he had ideas on how to produce, help the production and make it come about. So he was largely responsible for a lot of the production values of that tune. And it by the time it came out, it was just I thought this is a masterpiece. It's got to go somewhere, because I was my baby, and I was hoping, I had high hopes for it.
And it's funny because the 3 or 4 songs that I really liked on the album that you contributed to, I felt were all fantastic. That all could, I mean, the whole lot of them could have been singles and done really well.
Thank you. It had been Tod's Comet.
Yeah,
See,
well, that's just it, right?
The thing was, and I understand it's all business. I mean, and people don't read into that. What I'm saying is, it was Ace Frehley's Comet. Everybody knew that, so they wanted to push Ace stuff. And yes, I was a supplemental singer, but they felt their best chance at record sales was to have, and they're right, is to have Ace doing as much as he possibly could. So when here, on the record, Ace didn't play a stitch on that song. That's just all me, John, and Jamie Aldaker.
You can tell, though. I mean, you can hear. You don't hear Ace. I think
I would have liked to have had him do something on it, but again, he was sick a lot. He didn't show up for the studio days, and to praise him, he felt like, I don't need to do anything on it. It's done. Leave it alone. Yeah. And I was very grateful for that as well. He let me keep my lead on there.
That's cool.
And it just is what it was. Again, that always seems to be the case. And the label, I think, thought, well, there's not enough Ace in it. Matter of fact, I believe there was some discussion about having us redo it or reshoot it and having Ace put another lead in it or something to fix it. And if my memory serves me right, and I was like, what? After we've all done this already? Wow. And of course that never happened.
I mean, and I just thought like Time Ain't Running Out was a fantastic cut as well.
Thank you.
Loved that one. I mean, I just thinking of that melody in my head. Time Ain't Running Out, You Hurt Me for the Last. That was a great song.
Thank you. I wrote that. I think about the same time I was writing Fallen Angel, I believe, because I was writing 2 songs. I got this other idea, so it was right here in San Diego. I wrote all my songs here in San Diego, but I was writing it, and the song is actually about a woman that I had fallen in love with when I was in San Francisco, and the band was dead, and 707 was dead, and I was getting ready to move back to San Diego with my tail between my legs because I had nothing going, and it was just about that, the tumultuous relationship that didn't go well. It's funny, we're Facebook friends now, but
that happens.
The tune is about it's true lyrics actually.
Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, in Fallen Angel, just that rise in that vocal, where you go into that to Fallen Angel, it just fits so. It fits so good, right?
That was a fun song to do. We were going to work that up live too. Had we continued on with Iron Maiden tour, and of course that's when we were with Iron Maiden is when the tour ended, and that was it for me, or into the band of that lineup for me. But we were going to work up. It's over now. We're going to work up a couple other tunes, which never came to pass. But yeah, that would have been a fun song to do. I had a lot of fun doing that. That's kind of imaginary lyrics, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's kind of like about the snotty girls. Never thought I was good enough for them. It's cool.
That's cool. There is a video for that song, I believe, right?
Yeah, it's actually it was shot in Hammersmith Oden in England when we did the production video for "It's Over Now."
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. And there's an angel in it, I seem to believe. Now, you guys, before I let you go, I've taken up an hour of your time and I really appreciate it, man. So good. You guys toured quite a bit on the first album. You guys were... I seem to remember, did you guys go out with Guns N' Roses?
No, we did not. Oddly enough, when I was with Cheap Trick, Guns N' Roses opened up for us maybe once or twice. But as far as Guns N' Roses and Frehley's Comet knows, we had Y&T.
Y&T, right.
T and I got who else?
It was just so long ago, I couldn't remember.
Faster Pussycat, White Lion. Guns N' Roses. Now they would have. It was funny because they were still building their band. As a matter of fact, the guy that did their first record, producer Mike Klink, he was the assistant producer for one of the records for 707. So I knew Mike Klink. Matter of fact, when I went up to Mike Klink when he was recording that record to show him the stuff I had for solo stuff in the early 90s, I think it was 90, and took my bass player up and said, "Hey, Mike, you think you maybe do this?" He said, "Well, yeah, I'd love to, but I'm kind of busy with the project." That was the project. Appetite.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, we rocketed,
Well, I mean, there was such a huge buzz about them, right? It's just when that came in. But it took forever. It took like 10 months before, from the album being released to that Guns N' Roses album to it finally breaking, right?
Put the machine out, and they did a great job. I mean, they're in one of the Dirty Harry movies, on the boat playing. And
Jim Carrey's in that movie, too.
Yeah. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
Doing Guns N' Roses, doing Welcome to the Jungle in that movie.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's funny how all that stuff comes to pass. I see it, but yeah, they put a lot of groundwork into it, and that was the days when you could do it, and it hopefully pay off. They had a lot of money put into them, and a great band. I love Guns N' Roses, and also like Velvet Revolver, and big fan of Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains, and these are bands further down the road, but Guns N' Roses is smoking.
Great band. And I mean, you guys, I forgot that you guys you had toured with Y&T, and I'm just thinking about that, and I'm like, Y&T and Frehley's Comet together, that would have been cool for me, because I love Y&T. Yeah,
the good band. I mean, and oddly enough, again, my band 707 warmed up for Y&T back in 80, 81, 82 in that era. But they're great band, solid.
Cool. Good big area band. Yeah, I've been around I haven't seen the documentary yet. Apparently there's a documentary. I haven't had the opportunity to watch it yet. What's that, sorry?
I think I've heard about that.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So Tod, thank you so much. That was great to talk about all the Frehley's Comet. And
of course, you're very welcome. Yeah, it's always nice. Sometimes it helps spark memories for me. Like, I just remembered something out of my autobiography now about Mike Klink, because I forgot to put that in there. Or maybe I remember. But thank you, Tyson, for asking me again. And I hope you got some questions answered, and hopefully it works well.
Okay, man. Well, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. You as well. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye, Tyson.
Bye.
See ya.
Your short-lived little fantasies. You're the entertainment for the feeble-minded waves. Some of you are theaters.